Today is the day where you wake up and you realize that everything that you've been dreaming about, everything that you've been wanting, every goal and wish and hope that you've ever had can become real. Dreams can come true. What you manifest in your mind, you can bring to reality.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to a new episode of The Ray Taylor Show. My name is Ray Taylor. This episode, I'm going to recap. There's some fights. I enjoy watching the UFC, and it's International Fight Week in Las Vegas, and they had a couple cards, and I made some picks. On the last episode, one of the last episodes, and I was wrong. Pretty much wrong. I think I was wrong about all of my picks. I believe. But let's get into it. I don't remember exactly what my picks were, but I'm sure as they show up. So the Ultimate Fighter show, I watched the main card. It was pretty fun. Wasn't paying that much attention. The main event with Adesanya versus who the fuck did he fight? Let's see, go back to so it was Israel Adesanya versus Brad Tavares. Good fight, though. I mean, it was a fight where you got to see what the style bender, as he likes to go by, because of the Last Airbender show, the cartoon, not the shitty movie, but that inspired his nickname. But yeah, he looked great. He ended up going to a decision. It was unanimous, but he wasn't able to finish it. But I think that's more on just Brad Tavares' ability to take a punch. So decent card overall. Two people won from the show, which I didn't really watch The Ultimate Fighter, so I watched some of the episodes, but they only released like 8 episodes on Fight Pass. So it's like I don't have cable, so I'm not going to get cable to. And the times I've tried to like stream it with other means, it's just shitty. So they shoot themselves in the foot. I don't really give a shit. It would be nice if Fight Pass released all of the episodes a week before the finale. That way you can binge the whole season and get ready for the finale and get pumped up to give a shit about some fighter that's going to get a new contract, but they didn't do that. They don't do that. So, and I think there's only one season left of The Ultimate Fighter, potentially. They're going to have Kelvin Gastelum versus Robert Whittaker as the coaches, and then they'll fight for the belt after the season's over. And I'm assuming it's going to be heavyweights and then some other weight class because they plucked a heavyweight from Dana White's Tuesday Night Contender Series. But yeah, so I didn't watch the earlier fights of the Ultimate Fighter finale, but I'm sure I'll get to them at some point. But the main card, the main event of the week, UFC 226, headlined by Daniel Cormier versus Stipe Miocic. And at first, I was super stoked for this card because that fight was very interesting. And then also Max Holloway versus Brian Ortega, which didn't end up happening because Max Holloway was displaying some concussion-like symptoms, which you could definitely tell. There's a clip where Michael Bisping noticed it during one of his shows, and then it's definitely noticeable on the embeddeds and all that kind of shit. But so they pulled that fight, which is a bummer. But the new co-main event was Derek Lewis versus Francis Ngannou, which I was super stoked for. Right, it's a matchup that had been in the making since they both kind of made their names in the heavyweight division. They were pretty much the only two kind of interesting guys on the come up. Ended up being one of the worst heavyweight fights ever. Francis threw like maybe 5 punches in the whole fight. Like Dominic. First off, this whole broadcast was ruined by Dominic Cruz being the third mic. He is by far the worst person that they put in the UFC on a microphone for the whole thing. It is annoying. He interrupts people, and then he just trails off. He doesn't finish sentences. He doesn't have consistent statements. It seems like he's reading from his notes instead of actually commenting on what's going on. He is super biased about fighters. During the Francis Ngannou versus Derek Lewis fight, he's like, "Oh, Francis is just because he gassed out. He's just waiting on these first 2 rounds so he can explode in the. I guarantee you, he's just waiting to explode in the last round." Take Dominic Cruz off of the desk. Put him back in the studio. Don't do the play-by-play color commentary bullshit. Just stop. He's horrible. Everybody else that's ever done it is better than him. So the Derek Lewis Francis Ngannou fight was boring. Mike Perry versus Paul Felder, fucking amazing fight. Should have been fight of the night, although I don't think it got fight of the night. It ended up being a split decision to Mike Perry. Good fight overall, though. Felder broke his arm early in the 3rd round, throwing a spinning back fist. But yeah, good fight overall. Anthony Pettis surprised me, beating Chiesa. Caught him in a triangle plus armbar. But he looked good. Surprising. Maybe Pettis is back. Maybe old Pettis is back. Chiesa missed weight. Says he's never going to fight lightweight again. Roundtree versus Gogan Saki. Got knocked the fuck out by Roundtree. Costa beat Hall. TKO, which, yeah. But the big surprise, Daniel Cormier comes in and knocks out Stipe Miocic round 1. Ridiculous. End of round 1. Towards the end of round 1. It's very surprising. Disappointing, to be honest. Now he's going to fight Brock Lesnar. They just had this whole, like, well choreographed kind of, but Daniel Cormier is very much a fan of the WWE. Brock comes from the WWE. It was very WWE-esque as far as what they were doing in the cage after the fight. Cormier looks puny compared to Brock. I don't really care to see that fight because it just seems like Cormier might die, but who knows? Brock has lost in the past, but heavyweights have kind of fluctuated in size. And Stipe is on the smaller size, but still, man, that was such a bummer. So we'll see what happens to Stipe. We'll see if Cormier versus Brock, probably end of the year, maybe, or next year. I don't know. It's great fights, though. I think all of my picks were wrong. All of them. I don't think there's any fights this next week, so if there are, I'll do some picks for it in another video. But that's my recap for the weekend. It was a lot of fun, despite really disappointing. It was a really quiet night. I was not happy by the end of the night. But, it's okay. I'll live. Watch more fights another time. That's it for this episode. Follow me on social media at Ray Taylor on Twitter and Instagram. Check out everything I do over at InspiredDisorder.com. And if you want exclusive content, go to Patreon.com/InspiredDisorder. That's it, everybody. Have a great week. Peace out.